What's up, everybody? It's finally time. I'm making myself pull the motor out because this has to happen before the drag and drive at the end of May, and we are quickly approaching the beginning of April, so we're running out of time. And it's got to come out because of there's a header bolt. It's the bottom one on that. Bing. It's the bottom one down there. You can't really see it. I'll show you when I get it in the air. It keeps backing off, and this eBay set of headers, they never even intended for you to actually put a fastener in that hole. So I need to come up with a solution for that so it stops backing off and I can actually get something on there to tighten it. And it's going to be easier to do with the motor out. I'm also pulling it so that way we can check head studs, make sure those are torqued, and I'm not going to pull the oil pan off unless I find a reason to, but we are going to check crankshaft end play. But yeah, first things first, we got to get the motor out. I have a helper gun. Yay! Yay. And the other nephew, the older of the two, and oh yeah, there's this. So this is that car I said I bought, and on the face space, and didn't really show anybody. It's super filthy. I do have a little bit of footage of the day I got it, and I'll probably insert that. Yep. But it's not just a Crown Vic. Just give me 1 second. What the yeah, it's a 5-speed. The main reason this thing is here, though, is as you can see, it is lowered in the rear, and it's not done in a ghetto manner. It also has Metco billet aluminum control arms in the rear, along with those lowering springs. So we're gonna take the air ride out of the back and the clapped out control arms out of Biggie, put the control arms in this car so you know it's still movable, and put the lowering springs in here. And then I need to find some dual adjustable shocks that aren't $1 million, or if somebody wants to sponsor, that'd be cool. But they're gonna start on that while I start yanking the motor out of this. I'm gonna stop talking and we're gonna get after it. It is too. I find that. We are working on getting this thing pulled out, going after the downpipe right now. But this is This is our bullshit right here. You can barely fucking see, and it looks like a ball weld, and it's because it is a ball weld. It used to be an Allen, and I had an Allen in it, and it broke. So that's gonna be easier to deal with, not in the car. Alright, so progress is being made, obviously. We've got most of a turbo town car on the fucking floor. Flucking. Oh, Junior over here is killing it. He's already got arms out of the donor car. We're gonna harvest the shocks and the springs still yet, but me and Dad got just about everything out the way. And we are ready to hook up the cherry picker and get this out. We are doing nothing more than a wellness check, hopefully. We will find out soon enough, though. We're going to check crankshaft end plate. Depending on how that turns out will depend on if we are taking it farther apart than just rechecking the head studs. So I'm going to shut up and get back after it. The heart of the beast is out, and we're here to deal with that horrible, ugly nightmare. And that's why I figured we'd pull it out. We checked for crankshaft end plate, there is none. So oil pan staying on. We need to cover this.
Like this?
Yes. See, he was already ready, condom in hand. Uh-oh, it's shredded.
No, it's not.
It's good.
I know, I just like the sound.
Now that we got that out, Bradley's got her up in the air to finish knocking out this side. We still got to change the coil spring, or airbag to coil spring, but he's got both the arms in. We're going to use the shocks off that car as well, because they are not all leaky, like mine is. It's unleaked all of the juice it had in there out of it.
Looks like it was leaking that rear fork too.
Yeah, I thought so. A little bit of carbon there.
Now the fun part, getting that guy out.
BRB. Well, I believe we've come up with a solution. So we welded a nut and left this much of a shank so that way the head of the bolt will actually be out here. I'll show you when this isn't molten hot, but yeah. Okay, fine. Now that will go down in there, so that way we can tighten it out here, but it'll tighten down there. Obviously, we're going to have to be gentle because of how long it is, but I figure if we start with that one, we should be all right. Yep. So we're going to let that cool, and then get it installed back on the heart of the beast. Well, on to our wellness check. And so far, everything's looking pretty good. We do have some condensation, But again, running it on E, plastic valve covers, hot, cold, hot, cold. That ain't nothing to be concerned about. Chains are good and tight still, at least this one so far. So I'm gonna go ahead and look back up the torque specs for the ARP head studs. We're gonna recheck them, put the cover back on, check that side, do a final cleanup, and then she's ready for preparations to go back into its rightful home. What up, dude?
Whoa. It's the one you bought?
Mm-hmm. Go check out the new control arms. Well, passenger side.
Oh. What's going on? What the hell?
Get rid of the airbags, too.
You got springs for it now?
We're taking the lower, yeah, the lowering springs there.
What? This thing going more race car.
It's getting what it needs.
How's your in? Are you
Yeah,
putting that
right.
together now?
Yeah, this was the main problem. That one kept coming loose and it had a snapped off Allen socket in it. Now we made a long bolt, welded a nut there.
Easily.
Serviceable in the car. It was never that before. Just got done retorquing the head studs on this head. I have to do the other head still.
They come out good?
Yeah, they were all still at 70 foot-pounds, so.
I'm sure when someone plants the idea of it loosening, you kind of just start fingering your head.
It had to be done, yeah, it had to be checked. We've got the motor ready to go back in. We just got done setting the rear end down on some jack stands with the control arm bolts loose. Brother and nephew cycled the suspension to make sure it's essentially as close to ride height as possible. Junior's gonna buzz those bolts down while we move to the front of the bus and start getting ready to get the motor set in. And then we're gonna be calling it a night for tonight. They gotta head back to the UP tomorrow morning. I will be back here to try to get this thing buttoned up to the point where we can at least get it in and out, because, you know, Monday's the next day. And I gotta finish getting that thing ready to be pushed out and deal with that as well. So, yup, lots to do. Lots to do still. Race car stuff.
Yeah.
Race cars are dumb.
Race car.
A few moments later.
Well, that's ready to go back in. Junior got the suspension button back up on both cars, which is funny because that's got Trailblazer SS 3-inch lowering springs in the back now, and it sits almost as low as it did. However, over here, we're gonna have to let it settle some more because Biggie darn near don't look like it's lower no more. But I'm sure that'll settle some. Plus, there ain't no fuel in the damn thing right now. But yeah, that's a full day. We got the motor health checked off, good to go. Ran an actual power steering cooler, so that way I stop poking holes in my radiator. I still got to deal with that tomorrow. And an array of other little odds and ends. We got a new power steering pump for it as well. But that's all going to be tomorrow's adventure. It's taco time.
Damn right it is.
The next day.
Alright, it's a new day. The fam had to go back home, so I am here to get that back in its home before tomorrow morning. But before we do all that, I wanted to move the core support or radiator support from where it was about another inch forward, just for clearance from the turbo and whatnot. So we're gonna start with that, and then we'll go ahead and get ready to stuff the heart back in this thing. After much struggling, I got it relocated, moved forward about an inch, both sides. I got to put it up in the air, refasten it on the bottom, and then we can actually get back to doing this. I've only wasted a couple hours on this. This is fine.
6 hours later.
Well, GoPro died, and this thing, it did not go back together easily. Every little thing. I had to revamp the radiator support like 3 times because I moved it without the radiator in it. So yeah, that added a couple hours worth of bullshit. But I'm just doing a finish drain on the oil. We got the exhaust all back on. Got just about everything plumbed. I still have like the air fuel ratio sensor. I gotta plug that in. Charge pipe, that's got to go back on, wipers and stuff. But basically just trying to get it buttoned up to the point where I can get them both out in the morning, both Bigums and its blue part slave, if that's what we're gonna call it for right now, the salty machine. But yeah, I am just struggling to try to get this all wrapped up since it's Sunday and we got work tomorrow. Yeah, on the fence on whether or not we're gonna stay and get it running, or if I'm just gonna get it to the point where I can push it out in the morning, push them out in the morning, because I have a panther problem. Finally checking some shit off of this enormous list. So, fix radiator, GoPro was dead, but that's done. Revamped the core support. Almost. Well, on account of we're not using the airbags anymore because we got new control arms and springs. That part's done. Yeah, that has been dealt with. Header bolt and gasket. Yay. Go over engine. Yay. All right, well, there's some more stuff crossed off. I think there's only a couple weeks left.